Hey guys, Austin Cook here with the Tinstitute. We're getting ready to do this Ford Fusion back window. I've already soaked it, and I'm gonna go around and put the Glacé down because this is 5% that we're gonna be using, and I'm just really excited to see how well I'll be able to see the Glacé through our ATC 5% from Lumar. So give me just a second. And then there's a couple other things I wanna talk about in regards to setting up your H pattern. Because what I'm finding with some of our guys that are just starting is that the setup is very important, because a couple of times people here have set it up in a way that makes it more difficult than it needs to be. So I'm excited to share with you my ideas on that. I can't see the matrix staring down into this dark seat, so I'm just gonna grab my light and put it on the back seat to be able to see that matrix. And again, I love how well this tape goes around the corners without peeling up at all. So I did forget to use the Glacé. That's why the film is already on here. That's okay, it's an easy workaround. And then once I'm done showing you guys how I set this up, I am gonna shrink it. This particular window can be a little challenging just because the lower corners are so curved right here. So again, we're gonna go over the setup as soon as I get done laying this tape out. Then I'm gonna show you the concerns I have with some of our guys here setting it up in a way that makes it more difficult than it needs to be as far as shrinking goes. And if you have trouble with shrinking, that's just kind of the beginning of the end with any back window or front windshield. So I think it's a really important topic. And one other thing that I want to mention is I do have my heat gun running already. That's part of the reason why you guys see my film shrink so quickly, is just because I always let my heat gun run and get all the way up to temperature before I even start shrinking, because I just want to be able to go as fast as possible while still being professional. Okay, so I have the dry shrink prep. As you can see, this is floating really nice. I kind of look down to see where the film is naturally laying flat, which is right here. Take my cheap wrap squeegee. Lately I've been using the 6-inch one. And then I pull just a little bit on this window and make sure that I come straight towards my hand. And then here is the critical part, is you want to pull these corners to the corner. You can easily create more of a finger than needs to be, and that's what that looks like. That finger doesn't need to be that big. So again, I could pull to this corner and take out a bunch of that, and the film still lays flat. So I'm gonna do that 4 times because we got 4 corners to demonstrate that. Here is the minimum, and see how I kind of pull at this 45-degree angle? I just barely want this film on the side to be taut. And we can see the Glacé, and we can see that these couple little fingers are gonna be cut off by a long shot. Okay, but on this corner, if I'm not paying attention, well, let me make my center edge first. If I'm not paying attention, I can easily make this dramatically harder than it needs to be by bringing more film into the center and doing that. See how my hand goes this way? That's not how I like to do it. I like to pull my hand right about here at that angle. So be sure, if you have any questions on this, if I'm not making sense to you, let me know in the direct messages, let me know in the comments. I can always do more videos to explain better. But last corner, let's see again one time. I like to do this motion from this angle and barely take this out all the way. But if you run your hand straight up from this side, that finger is way bigger than it needs to be. Versus that. And again, if you've watched my Corvette video on YouTube, the link is in the bio, you know that on difficult windows, I like to leave a couple cheater fingers on the side that are gonna get cut off. So don't get in the habit of pulling those out because that's unnecessary. Okay, so now, as I said, my heat gun's been running this whole time. Let's go ahead and shrink this. So this finger's kind of going off in this angle. I want to pull that to me because the center of this window is very easy. So I want to pull these fingers so the angle is now coming to me. And watch how easily this shrinks. And this is why I like the 6-inch squeegee. It's because when I do go to finally squeegee at the end, it's just covering way more surface area and making this much quicker and much easier. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with how well I can see the glass aid through the 5%. And this is Lumar's ATC dyed 5%, which I believe is one of their darkest 5%. So, notice how close I am to the film. Notice the speed of my heat gun. Notice all the details. It's impossible to watch these videos one time and pick up everything. So you gotta go back through and watch everything several times if you're really trying to learn what I'm doing here. I'm ready to cut it out. So hopefully this helps. Again, ask me if you have any other questions. If there's something you didn't understand, direct message me, leave it in the comments, and we'll see you on the next video.